The last steps after you're finished with your scratch art, and remember your scratch art will be more detailed than mine, is to create a rose smalling border or a frame around your art. So start with a pencil, just in case you make a mistake, and you're going to create a frame. You can use a ruler if you would like it to be a very straight line. Because I'm not using a ruler, I'm going to use a wavy line so that it will look like it is on purpose, not quite perfect. What I'm trying to do though is make sure that I make each section about the same width. So this section right here is equal to this section so that when I do my rose smalling and my decorations, I can fit the same sort of designs all the way around. Okay, now that I know where my frame is going to go, I'm going to use these construction paper crayons. They show up really well on the construction paper to add my design. If you would like it to be more holiday-ish, think about adding some holly sort of designs, maybe some red flowers, even snowflakes. You could include snow people in your design, or you can just use the Nordic patterns. It doesn't necessarily have to be holiday-ish. One thing I like to do when I make art is to do kind of a corner design in my border. So I'm going to start by adding holly in all in all four corners. These are my holly berries. You do not have to do yours the same as Miss S, right? Just an idea. But I love the red and the white. It reminds me of the holidays, so I'm going to make mine a little bit kind of wintry. Okay, then I'm going to do my holly leaves coming out of that design. Kind of going into the center a little bit, into the background. Ooh, I had a little bit red oil pastel that mixed into my leaf there. Do you see it? That's okay. We'll just pretend like that happened on purpose. How about that? Okay, so I've got my corners designed. And now, a little bit of detail. So it shows up a little bit better. A little bit of detail. Now I'm going to start working on this design that goes around. I think I want to color mine with blue, so I'm going to use my light blue, and I'm going to be coloring all the way around with my light blue, and then I'll add some designs in there. Snowflakes might be really cool with my blue, so maybe I come in with my white crayon, and I add my snowflake designs on top. If you're going to layer like I'm doing, you really have to press down kind of hard. If that is not working for you, you can color around. So let's say you want to add some little flowers. Maybe I add my little flower down here. And then instead of going over it, I'm going to carefully color around that flower so you can kind of experiment with what works best for you. Your goal is to have the whole border filled in all the way around so it'll look like your scratch art is almost in a frame. It makes it look really nice and finished instead of just having an animal floating in the center of your page. So is Miss S done? No, totally not finished, right? I would need to keep coloring all the way around and add my details, but I'm just showing you how to get started in the process. I cannot wait to see what kind of cool details you guys come up with.